Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our new topic, types of receptors. In yesterday class, we have discussed regarding what is agonist, antagonist, what is the theory of receptors. Now today we are going to start our types of receptors. Just before that, we would like to understand some outline like definition, history, receptor theories, which we have already discussed, but in a brief manner, we would like to discuss in one or two statements and criteria for classifying receptors, types of receptors like ligand gated receptors, G protein coupled receptor, enzyme linked receptor, nuclear receptor. And last one part is their summary. What is the objective behind this chapter? To introduce the receptor family, their types, their mechanism, and what kind of learning outcomes, how the drug is going to bind with the receptors, how they are going to select what kind of sites which are available at which the drug are going to bind and give the response. Along with that, how the receptors function means what is their mechanism, along with the examples means which of the receptor is ligand gated ion channel receptor, which receptor is G protein coupled receptor, which receptor is enzyme linked receptor. So uh, all these are the examples which we are going to discuss in this chapter or in this topic. Now, targets for drug means we can say either drug, we can say either ligand. There are both things, both are the same things. So first of all, we would like to understand what is the targets for drug. When drug is going to absorb and drug reaches to the tissue, after that what would be happen? Then drug is going to bind with the receptor and it produce response. This thing is depend when the drug is directly comes in contact with the receptor, and in the meanwhile receptor gives the response, that is called direct response, which is given by ion channel ligand gated ion channel receptors. We can say open or closing types, means ions when drug is going to bind and channel will open and ions will come introduced into the cell. Second thing, transduction mechanism. What is transduction mechanism? Means it either may activate the enzymes, it may inhibit the enzymes. Apart from them, they are going to modulate their structures, and after that the ions will come. And sometimes some DNA transcription, means they are going to form DNA, they are going to replicate, they are going to increase the process of replication and going to prepare the DNA, and then it convert into DNA transcription process, which is we can better understand in nuclear type of receptors. Next thing, when antagonist is going to bind with the receptor, when antagonist is going to bind, antagonist can bind with the receptor, but they are unable to perform any kind of conformation change of the receptor. That's why there is no effect. Means ultimately they are going to bind with the receptor, but they have also pharmacological action. In the case of toxicity, drug toxicity, that time we needs to give the antagonistic of same type of substance, like example is naloxone. In opioid receptor, kappa receptor, what would be happen when any patient who are going to take overdose of morphine, then we want to save the patient from the morphine, then we needs to give the naloxone injection, and naloxone are going to bind with the kappa receptor. That's why morphine is unable to bind with the receptor and it will be passed out through the urine. So antagonistic substance are also bind with the receptors. Next thing, in the meanwhile receptors case, what would be happen in case of ion channel? In ion channels, they may blocked, and when we are giving the medicine, they will bind to the particular site of receptors and modulate it. Modulation in the receptor, that is why the receptor is going to open and the process will be continue of the exchange of ions. And next one case is enzyme. In case of enzymes, when drug are going to bind with the receptors, normally reactions, not in normal cases, what would be happen? Reaction will be stopped, and you can say normal reactions are inhibited. And when false substance, you can say drug substance are going to bind, they will be activated. And next one is transporters. Transporters means these are the substance in general cases they are going to bind on cell, and cell will depot to the cell inside the cell membrane, and after that the drug is going to bind with the receptor and produce response. Now, what is the definition of receptor? We have discussed about receptors, then we should know about the definition of receptors. So what is the definition? Receptor, it is a cellular macromolecules whose function is to recognize and respond to chemical signals. It is a very simple definition. Receptor are the cellular macromolecules whose function is recognized, जिनका function निर्धारित होता है, recognized होता है, and respond on chemical signal. This chemical signal can be obtained from our neurotransmitters. This chemical signal can be obtained by the some autocoids. This chemical signal can be obtained by the local hormones, hormones and endogenous molecules which can initiate the action, and this chemical signal can be obtained by the drugs, medicine. So when the drug is going to bind with the receptor performing their normal function. So these are the definition of receptor in a broad sense. Now, what is the history? Just we would like to see in a brief manner. In 1878, John Langley proposed the receptive substances. In 1905, receptive substances on the surface of skeletal muscles mediated drug action, different in different species. It depends. According to Paulrich, designed receptors to be an encouraging group of the protoplasmic molecules of administered compound, and invested molecules extended from the cells that the body could use to distinguish the mount in immune response to the foreign object. In 1948, Alquish shows that the differential action of the adrenaline and demonstrated its effect on the two distinct receptor populations, and theory of receptor mediated drug interaction gain acceptance. So these are the some scientists, and this is the brief history regarding receptors. And 1970, the pharmacology entered into the new phase, and the development of receptor labeling technique, and multiple subtypes of receptors now known, which has paved the way of the clinical superior drugs. Now, criteria for the classifying receptors. Now, this phase is very important. Pharmacological criteria: tissue distribution, ligand binding, transduction pathway, and molecular cloning. So these are the pathways. Now, molecular cloning. Now, what is the receptor theories which we have discussed in previous session also? Drug plus receptor means drug when bind with the receptor, it form drug receptor complex, and after that it produce therapeutic response. That is called uh, uh, drug receptor complex, and then it will be produced therapeutic response. So behind this theory, behind this thing. We have seen there are of many types of theories, eight theories we have seen in yesterday class, but apart from them, only two or three theories are accepted. First is occupation theory. In this occupation theory, mean to say that the drug, when bind with the receptor, it's act like the key lock theory. Means key drug is a key, and receptor is a lock, and drug is going to bind with the receptor, and it will produce response. So this is the drug receptor theory regarding occupation theory. But occupation theory is unable to explain the definition of agonist, definition of antagonist, and partial agonist. Now, second theory is rate theory in 1961. What would be rate theory? Says that the rate theory says that the Response is occur when there are some kind of conformation change in the receptor, but 100% receptor should be occupied for producing the maximum response. But this theory again failed, and now the two receptor theory model, which we have said, receptor found in active state and inactive state, it is in equilibrium. When the drug is going to bind with the receptor become activate for producing the response, and after some time the receptor comes in inactivate stage, yeah, resting stage. And in case of antagonist can be act on resting state receptor as well as activated receptor. In both type of cases the response will be stopped. Now types of receptor. Now our chapter is going to start. What is types of receptor? Types of receptor simply says that ligand-gated ion channel. Ligand-gated ion channel receptors. In these receptors, what would be happen in ligand-gated ion channel receptor? Simply, when the drug is going to bind with the receptors, the channel will open, and they act in a very fastest manner within milliseconds. Within milliseconds, when drug is going to bind with the receptor, it will produce therapeutic response. And in the second case, G protein coupled receptor, it is a broad family of the receptor. And in G protein coupled receptor, what would be happen when drug is going to bind with the receptor? It takes some time for therapeutic response. Within half an hour, means within few seconds to half an hour, the receptor will active and produce response in G protein coupled receptors. And next one is enzyme linked receptors. Enzyme linked receptors, these are the receptors which when drug is going to bind with the receptors, then it will give the response after some hours, means uh, 5 hours and 10 hours after some taking some time. And nuclear receptor, in nuclear receptor what would be happen? Drug is introduced into the cell and then cross the cell membrane, and after that it will be bind with the nucleus of the receptor. It again divided into two parts, means nuclear receptor and cytoplasmic receptor. In cell cytoplasm there are also some kind of receptors are available. Then the drug is going to bind with the receptor and produce response. It will take number of days, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. The example is for cytoplasmic receptors are the example of steroidal hormones. And in case of nuclear receptor, the example is thyroid hormone, thyroid gland. Because the thyroid gland, the thyroid drug act on the nucleus which is present into the cell, and the drug is going to bind with the nucleus and after that produce the response. So these are the four families. So this is the brief introduction. Now we are going to see in an elaborate manner. Before that, receptor subtypes and nomenclature. What is the receptor subtypes and how they are going to nomenclatures? According to IPHAR, International Union of Basic and Applied Pharmacology, it divided into three segments. Means genomic segment, a gene segment, and mRNA segment. In mRNA segment, what would be happen? There is just first of all, DNA form a para mRNA strand. In mRNA strand is consist of some basic means amino acid chain. And in some amino acid chains, there are some codons are available, and these codons form mRNA plate, and that mRNA plate is available in rRNA cell. And in this rRNA cell, the binding of different codons, and you can say binding of different amino acid on mRNA strand, and they will prepare protein substance, and this protein substance is responsive further called receptor. Now ligand gated ion channel receptor. There are some brief, very important things which we would like to explain in this PPT. First, these are called ionotropic receptor. typically receptors on which neurotransmitter act. The time scale is milliseconds, means the drug is going to bind. Yeah, you can say any kind of neurotransmitter will bind and this channel will open. Means it taking very few seconds on the action, and the location is they are available on membrane, means outside of membrane. They are available on membranous sites. Effectors ion channels, coupling direct, means drug directly bind with the receptor, and in the meanwhile the receptor is open. The examples are very important, because in many competitive exams the examples have asked which of the following is the type of ligand gated ion channel, which of the following is type of G protein coupled receptor. They are giving the few examples. Among these options there is one answer. So ligand gated ion channel receptors, the example is nicotinic receptors. Nicotinic receptors are found in nicotinic receptors are found in autonomic nervous system. We can say NN or NM types. There are two types of receptors. So nicotinic family belongs to ligand gated ion channel. Nicotinic acetylcholine receptor family, you can say at this receptor acetylcholine is going to bind, and the receptor will work. And GABA A receptor, GABA A and GABA B, there are of two receptors. GABA A receptor found in ligand gated ion channel, GABA B found in G protein coupled receptor. So GABA A receptor is the example. Glutamate receptor, glutamate receptor is also is the example of ligand gated ion channel. Glycine receptor and 5-HT3 receptor, 5-HT1, 5-HT2, 5-HT4, 5-HT5, and 5-HT6 and 5-HT7. These are the 7 receptors in this serotonin type of receptors. But among all 1 to 7, only 5-HT3 is the example of ligand gated ion channel. Resting all the receptor are the example of G protein coupled receptor. So these are the receptors, and we should remember this thing, the examples of receptors and their time scale. Two things which we should remember: they are available on membrane, they have taken milliseconds of time, and the examples: nicotinic receptors, glycine receptor, glutamate receptor, GABA receptor, and 5-HT3 receptor, NMDA receptor. NMDA receptor are also example of ligand gated ion channel. The structure of ligand gated ion channel we can see in this diagram. There are of two alpha unit, which we can see in this diagram, and one beta and one gamma unit. And these units form a circle, and apart from them, in the middle part there is a small pore of 0.7 nm diameter. So there are two acetylcholine sites are available, at which acetylcholine is going to bind and produce therapeutic response. Now, molecular structure. Now, when we are going to talk about molecular structure, we need to understand some brief things regarding this chapter. Nicotinic acetylcholine study in a great detail. Pentameric assembly, we can see in last diagram. In this structure, we can say this is a pentameric structure. Means 2 alpha, 1 beta, 1 gamma, and 1 delta are available. So they make a pentameric structure. Pentameric assembly of 4 subunits, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. Means in this case 2 alpha, 1 beta, 1 gamma, and 1 delta. So these unit makes a pentameric assembly. This question has been also asked in the exam. In following of the in all of the receptor, which of the receptor found pentameric structure? The answer is ligand gated ion channel. So next one, 4 membrane spanning alpha helix inserted into the membrane. Two acetylcholine binding site. Both must be acetylcholine binding sites for receptor activation, and lining with the central membrane pore, forming by helical segment of each subunit, negatively charged negatively charged receptors and helicals sharply invert the halfway and forming the constriction, means Sikudan, you can say. What is the getting mechanism, means how the receptor is going to work. When acetylcholine is bind to the alpha subunit, it will actually open the channel port. Simply we can say, when the drug receptor channel, when the acetylcholine is going to bind with the receptor, the receptor has some kind of modulation and the channel will open simultaneously. And conductance produced by the different acetylcholine agonists in the same way, whereas the mean of channel lifetime varies. The mutation of creation residue in helix changes channel from being the cation selective, it means excitatory types, to being the anion selective, atypical types of inhibitory types of receptors like GABA. Most excitatory neurotransmitter causes the increase the sodium potassium permeability, means in excitation there are of two things, excitation and inhibition. In case of excitation, what would you see? Increase the conduction of sodium and potassium permeability, means if the sodium and potassium cell permeability will increase, they are responsible for excitation in the cell. Net inward the current invaried by the sodium and depolarization of the cell membrane, probability to generate the action potential system या action potential channel. Speed of this response implies the coupling between the receptors and ionic channels are direct one. No intermediate biochemical steps are involved in this uh, channel. Now voltage operated channel. In voltage operated channel, these channels open when the cell membrane is depolarized. They are underlying the mechanism of membrane excitability, and activation induced by the membrane depolarization is short last even if the depolarization is maintained. Means activation तभी होगा, ये activation is induced that time for that time the drug is going to bind with the receptor, and during after some time, when the function of the drug, you can say drug, are going to displace, then channel is again going to close. The most important channel of this group is selective sodium, potassium and calcium. So in voltage operated channels, always ions are going to work. We have seen in this chapter sodium, potassium, calcium. These are the ions which are responsible for create a voltage into the cell membrane. Now we can see in this diagram also voltage activated sodium channel. When voltage activated sodium channels, when the drug molecule are going to influx of the into the cell, the channel become depolarized state, and after depolarization of in the cell membrane, it alter the position of voltage sensor into the cell, and the position will altered, and after some time, in case of hyperpolarization, the channel ions are closed, and the voltage membrane alteration of the voltage sensors are closed. Now voltage gated sodium and calcium channel. In voltage gated sodium and calcium channel, we can see in this diagram there are four phases, four steps we can see. In first step, when the substance, you can say neurotransmitter, are going to attach, and during that time the peak of the uh, receptors will increase. You can see in a straight manner, and after some time, when the case of inactivation, the peak become down. So ligand gated receptors versus voltage operated channels जो होते हैं, and in this case we can see the appear the resume only two states where VOC undergoes the state is called refractive or inactivated stage. The voltage gated channel have no major endogenous molecules like acetylcholine. So this one topic has completed voltage gated ligand gated ion channel. Now in next one receptors, G protein couple receptor. Alfred Goodman and Gilman and Martin Rodbell In 1994, they have discovered the metabotrophic of 7 membrane helical. Here you can say heptahelical membrane. 7 transmembrane या heptahelical membrane uh, are found in this receptor. 7 membrane coiled structure has been found, and they are the largest family, which I have already said during the introduction of this receptor. And the time scale is few seconds to minutes. 30 minutes means second to 30 minutes. It takes times to activation. They are also located on the outside of cell membrane and effectors channels and or enzymes, and coupling with the G protein. And the examples, there are the number of examples like adrenoreceptor, muscarinic receptors, histamine receptors, serotonin. In serotonin, 5-HT1, 5-HT2, 5-HT4, 5-HT5, 6, and 7. All these are the receptors. Serotonin receptors are the example of G protein coupled receptor. And next one is opioid receptors. All opioid receptors, mu, kappa, delta, all receptors are the example of G protein coupled receptor. Cannabinoids receptors, amine peptides, prostanoids receptors. So these are the example of GPCR. Now we can see the structure of GPCR in 7 membrane coiled structure. Numbering is available here 1, 2, 3, 4 to up to 7, and upper one portion is NS3, NS2 means amino group is available, and apart from them, at their base membrane, yeah, bottom part CO negative group is available. The molecular structure of this family, actually this is the largest family, so this family is divided into 3 parts. So we can understand the single polypeptides having 1100 residues, 7 transmembrane alpha helix and extracellular nitrogen terminal at the domain, and intracellular calcium domain is available. So in GPCR family, first of all, a rhodopsin family. In rhodopsin family, it is the largest group of receptor for the most amine and neurotransmitters, neuropeptides, purines, prostanoids, cannabinoids, or all are the belongs to rhodopsin family. I have already told you it is the largest family, so it is divided into 3 parts. First is the rhodopsin family. In rhodopsin family, there are number of receptors are available. Their structure short extracellular, where nitrogen available at the terminal sites of the tail membrane, and ligand binds to the transmembrane helicals or extracellular loops are available. And next one is secretin, a glucagon receptor. In glucagon receptor, receptors for peptides hormone, including the secretin, glucagon, calcitonin. Intermediate extracellular tail incorporating ligand binding domain. And metabotrophic glutamate receptors or calcium sensor family, small group, metabotropic and glutamate receptors are available. GABA B receptors, calcium sensing receptors along extracellular tail and incorporating the ligand binding domains. So this family is divided into 3 parts: rhodopsin, secretin, and metabotrophic glutamate and calcium sensor family. G protein and their role. What is G protein family and what is their role? So we needs to understand this part. The family of membrane resident protein whose function is recognized to activated GPCR and pass on the message to the effector system to generate a cellular response. Function of GPCR: 3 subunit alpha, beta, and gamma are the encroaching to the membrane through the attached lipid residue, and coupling of the alpha subunit to the agonistic of occupied receptor causes bound GTP to exchange with the intracellular GTP. What would be happen in this channel? Alpha, beta, and gamma, 3 subunits are available, and when the drug molecule is going to bind with the receptor, during that time there is a signaling message is achieved into the cell, and GDP convert into GTP, which is active molecule guanosine triphosphate having 2 ATP, and this one is bind with the alpha subunit and activate the alpha subunit. And after activation alpha subunit, it will bind with the CMP and it produce therapeutic response. Now we can see in this diagram, in the case of resting state, what would be happen when the receptor is not active? We can see receptor and alpha, beta, gamma, and GTP is bind with the alpha subunit. And when the receptor is going to activate, the GDP is changed into the GTP in second stage, second phase. You can see, and during that time, the alpha subunit will detach and it will comes to the target and it will activate. And next one is GTP is hydrolyzed, and after GTP is hydrolyzed again, it is comes in inactivated state and available into the cell. Now amplification. Amplification, a single agonist receptor complex can activate the several protein molecule. Each of these can remain associated with the effect. Each of these can remain associated with the effectors enzymes for a long enough to produce many molecules of product, means secondary messengers. There are four classes of GPCR: GS, GI, Z0, and ZQ. Shows the selective with the respect to both receptors and effector with which they are going to couple. And cholera toxin and pertussis toxin are the example of this one thing. Now, what is these four subunits of GPCR? G alpha subunits: G alpha S, G alpha 0, G alpha Q, G alpha G beta delta subunit. So in this case, in G alpha S, many amines and their receptors like catecholamine, histamine, serotonin, they are going to bind and stimulate adenyl cyclase, causing increased CMP formation. And G alpha I, uh, that is act as inhibitory types, and they are also found in opioids, cannabinoids receptors, inhibit the adenylyl cyclase. And in case of G alpha S, they are found in also opioid, cannabinoids, but limited steps of alpha subunits, mainly due to beta and gamma subunits. And last one is beta and delta. All GPCRs are available. So as the G alpha subunit see in the above state, they are going to active state of the potassium channel and inhibit the voltage gated channel and GPCR kinase enzyme. Now target for G protein. There is a very important thing of adenylyl cyclase, how they are going to work. When drug is going to bind with the receptor, during that time the GPCR is going to activated and in this pathway the ATP is converted into CMP and they will going to activate the kinase enzyme. The catalyzes formation of the intracellular messenger CMP. CMP activate the various protein kinases that control the function in the many different way by causing the phosphorylation of various enzymes, carrier, and other proteins. We can see in this diagram, the CMP activate the protein kinase enzyme, which is in inactive state, and after activation, it will activate the lipase enzyme, and lipase enzyme is responsible for breakdown of fat, and they also activate the glycogen synthase enzyme, which is responsible for synthesis of glycogen into the cell membrane. And and next one is step phosphorylase kinase enzyme, which is responsible for increasing the glycogen breakdown into the cell membrane. And after breakdown of glucose, the ATP is going to generate it into the cell. In next step, phospholipase C, IP3-DAG pathway, we can say just two things which we should remember always in IP3-DAG pathway: the cell having contraction, cell के अंदर cell membrane getting contraction because the calcium ion is going to introduce into the cell. We can see, and now we can understand how it's possible. The catalyze the formation of IP3-DAG from the membrane of phospholipid, and IP3 increases free cytosolic calcium in releasing the calcium from the intracellular compartment, which is initiated many events, and DAG activate protein kinase C, which control the many cellular functions by the phosphorylating proteins. And we can see in this diagram the kinase enzyme which is activated. The receptor activate the phospholipase C, and this phospholipase C act on the kinase and binding of the various phosphorus group. And during that time, it causes the activation of protein kinase C, and this protein kinase C is responsible for releasing the reactions with the inositol, and phospholipase group is going to attach and release the calcium ions intracellularly, and this calcium ion is responsible for contraction as well as excitation into the cell. In when we are going to see the muscarinic receptor, when we are going to see 5-HT1 receptor, all the opioid receptor. In this case, what would we see? When IP3-DAG pathway, the calcium channel is going to release from the cell. It is responsible for contraction into the cell. The ion channel appear to the general mechanism of controlling potassium and calcium channel by direct interaction between the beta and delta subunit of G0, the channel phospholipase A2 for the formation of arachidonic acid and eicosanoic acid. The Rho kinase system is the G1, 2, and 1, 3 types of G protein alpha subunit interact with the guanosine nucleotide exchange factor. Guanosine nucleotide exchange factor, which facilitates the GDP and GTP exchange at the another GTPase or Rho. And on the action of Rho activated, Rho kinase phosphorylated substrate protein is formed, and this act as a termination of the reaction. And MAP kinase, the MAP kinase system is activated into the cytokinin through the growth receptor, activating the kinase linked receptor and GPCR ligand, control the process of involving the cell division and apoptosis and tissue degeneration. Apoptosis means cell death. And generally, this is the general process in which the cell is going to hydrolyzed by the lysosomal enzymes. And tissue degeneration means now the process is going to start to generation of tissue. Now protease activated receptor. In protease activated receptor, end of the extracellular and terminal 10 of the receptor sniff off to expose the nitrogen terminal to the residue that bind to the receptor domain in the extracellular loops. The functioning of ether agonist. A PAR molecule can be activated only once. The inactivation by the further proteolytic cleavage in free Tinderland or by the desensitization. We can see here in this case when the cleavage of thrombin, and it will be separate out and released from the fragment, and receptor is going to desensitize. Now in this slide we can understand the agonistic substance is going to bind with the receptor, and receptor is going to activate it. The phosphorylated receptors, it is arrestin receptor complex is going to form, and it is the endogenous endocytosis process has been occurred and loss of G protein coupled receptor, and after that the receptor is going to degenerate. And in the meanwhile, when activated receptor activated phosphokinase enzyme and phosphokinase C, the receptor phosphorylation occur in the non-specific manner, and the receptors are going to coupling in the heterologous system. Now we have completed two receptors, ligand gated ion channel and G protein coupled receptor. Now we are going to see third receptor, which is kinase linked and related receptor. Kinase linked receptor. In this receptor, what would we see? This is large heterogeneous group responding mainly to the protein mediators. Time scale, it takes R. It takes R. When we are going to study ligand gated ion channel takes few milliseconds. And in case of GPCR, it takes milliseconds to minute, means maximum 30 minutes. While in kinase linked receptor, it takes hours, and the location is also available at outside of the membrane. And effector protein kinase, means protein kinase is responsible for uh, therapeutic response and coupling direct, and example is insulin, growth factor, cytokine, ANF receptor. So very important, insulin receptors are belongs to which kind of family? So kinase linked receptor are the example of kinase linked receptor. This question has been asked in drug inspector exam as well as ZPAT exam. The structure of this receptor, we can see ligand binding region, we can see here. And next one, uh, uh, dimerization of domain and tyrosine kinase domain, we can see here in this structure. In ligand binding region, at this region, the drug is going to bind. When the drug is going to bind, it will activate tyrosine kinase domain, and tyrosine kinase domain is going to active, then therapeutic response will occur. That's why it takes time. Now, molecular structure and types. What is the molecular structure? Large protein single chain, means thousands of residue, and single membrane spanning helical, single membrane spanning helicals with the large extracellular ligand binding domains are available, and intracellular domains have variable in the size and function. So there are the types: receptor tyrosine kinase, serine or threonine kinase, and cytokine receptor. Lack of intrinsic enzyme activity when occupied, they associated with and activate the cytosolic tyrosine kinase such as JAK. JAK actually Janus kinase is the enzyme. What is their mechanism? Single transduction mechanism, generally involved in dimerization. We have seen the structure of this diagram, this receptor. They are available in dimer form. So generally involved in dimerization. Autophosphorylation of tyrosine residue, act as a receptor for SH2 domain of the intracellular protein, and involved mainly in events controlling the cell growth and differentiation, and act indirectly by the regulating the gene transcription mechanism. There are the two important pathway, the RAS and RAF, or MAP kinase pathway, the cell division, cell growth, and cell differentiation. The JAK state pathway activate the many cytokine, control the synthesis and release of many inflammatory mediators, which is responsible for causing inflammation into the cell, and they are also responsible for apoptosis process. Now we can see in this diagram the how the kinase cascade is function or performed. GPCR, when activated by the CMP and by the phosphokinase enzyme or DAG pathway and IP3 pathway, they all are the activate the kinase cascade pathway, and GC linked receptor, which also act on CGMP by the phosphokinase guanosine activation pathway, and kinase linked receptors which act on autophosphorylation process. The targeted proteins are enzymes, receptor, ion channel, transporter, and transporter, then transcription factor, and contractile protein and secretory mechanism. What kind of responses we have get by these targeted protein? Physiological response, immune response, apoptosis means cell death, Malignancy transformation means when the cell is unable, cell is going to multiply and differentiate, into the all over the body, and they have get the property of regeneration into the body, and growth and differentiation. Now, next and last one receptor is nuclear receptor. A nuclear receptor regulated gene transcription, means time scales takes hours to days, means 48 hours, 72 hours. It is location is intracellular. Last three receptors which we have discussed, all these three receptors are outside of the cell membrane, but they are available on intracellular. Effector gene transcription means they are going to modulate into the gene and after that produce the response, and coupling via DNA pathway. And examples are steroidal hormone, thyroid hormone, retinoic acid, vitamin D receptor. Again, we can say they are nuclear receptors. You can say intracellular receptor are of two types: nuclear receptor and cytoplasmic receptor. In cytoplasmic receptor, we can say steroidal hormone, vitamin D receptors, and retinoic receptors. And the answer of the example of nuclear receptor is thyroid hormone. The family included into the great many 40% of orphans drugs, orphan receptor. Orphan receptor, these are the receptor in which the drugs are used very rare cases. Now we can see the molecular structure. In this molecular structure, N-terminal AF co-activator region and core DNA binding domain is available. Hinge region and ligand binding domain, AF2 activator region and HSP region, and the C termination extension. Now, what is N-terminal domain? The N-terminal domain harbors of the AF site that bind to other cells the specific transcription factor that modify the binding of the activity to the receptor itself. Means that is the provide the site for activation and binding capability. And the core domain consists of responsible for DNA recognition and binding. The binding to the hormone response element located into the gene to regulate them. Hinge region in the molecule allow it to dimerize with the NR and also for exhibit the DNA binding. C-terminal domain contains the ligand binding modules to the specific each class of the receptor. Now, what is the classification of nuclear receptor? We can see the class 1 hybrid receptor and class 2 receptor. In class 1 present into the cytoplasm, which I have already says that next operate from the homodimers, mainly endocrines and higher affinity. In hybrid class, mainly endocrines means endocrine system and exocrine system. There are of two systems. In exocrine means the secretions comes with the help of tubes, and the endocrine, the glands will release the secretion into the blood and it will reach to the target tissue. So operate to the RXR heterodimers, and last one is class 2 present in the nucleus, operate to the heterodimers and many lipid ligands and low affinity. Now see the structure of this HSP binding domain. There is the zinc finger is available. In this zinc finger, we can see the formation of mRNA plate here, and in this mRNA plate there is some codons are available, and these codons are going to perform or prepare protein substance, and that protein substance is responsible for therapeutic response. When hormone in case of steroidal hormone, the hormones when get inserted into the nuclear pore, and they are going to process the core pressure mechanism, and in this process RNA polymerase plus cofactors, they are going to act and they are going to prepare a mRNA plate, and this mRNA plate are going to prepare the protein, and this protein is responsible for change in the cell function. Now control the gene transcription. What is control of gene transcription? Hormones response elements short 4 to 5 bp sequence of DNA to which the NR binding to the modified gene transcription present in the symmetrically in the pairs. The recruits of co-activator and co-repressor to modify the gene, and we can see in this diagram, and this receptor family is responsible for pharmacological action for approximately 10% of prescriptional drugs. Now this is the summary part in which we can see there are 4 receptors are available: ligand gated ion channel, G protein coupled receptor, kinase linked, and nuclear receptor. We can see in this diagram, ligand gated ion channel, when the drug is going to bind with the receptor, the channel receptor will open and cell become hyperpolarized or depolarized, and cellular effect will comes. The time scale is milliseconds. Example is nicotinic receptors, uh, glycine receptors, and NMDA receptors. And next one is GPCR. In GPCR, receptor is going to activate it by the secondary messenger. They may release the calcium, protein phosphorylation, and some other process which causes cellular effect. And second, what is their examples? Muscarinic receptors and 5-HT1 receptors, opioid receptors. They are the example of GPCR. And kinase link receptor, when drug is going to bind with the receptor or enzyme, it will be cause protein phosphorylation, then gene transcription process will occur, and after gene transcription the protein synthesis will occur, and it will responsible for cellular effect, and it will takes hours, means time takes hour. Example is cytokine receptor uh, or insulin receptor. Last one is nuclear receptor. When the drug is inserted into the cell membrane, then it will bind with the nucleus, and it will responsible for gene transcription, then protein synthesis process, and it is responsible for cellular effect. It will takes times in hours. Example is estrogen receptors, thyroid receptors, and vitamin D receptors, all are the example of these receptors. So this is the short summary of this chapter. Now we are going to see some multiple choice questions. If an agonist can produce the submaximal effect and has moderate efficacy, is called partial agonist. Means partial agonist always giving submaximal effect, and antagonist when bind with the receptor but they are not produce response. Agonist, antagonist. Not agonist always giving the response, not giving submaximal response. So idiosyncrasy reaction of a drug is, idiosyncrasy reaction क्या होती है? In idiosyncrasy reaction, there they can cause some unpredictable response or abnormality into the fetus. So what is the option? A type of hypersensitivity reaction? No, hypersensitivity reaction is not caused in idiosyncrasy. A type of drug antagonism? No. Unpredictable inheritance, qualitative abnormal reaction of the drug? Yes. The answer is C. Antagonist between the barbiturate and amphetamine is termed as, the answer is they are of physiological type of antagonism. CMP is the example of neurohormone, neuromodulator, neuromediator, and neurotransformer. The answer is neuromodulator. The following is the excitatory. We have seen also CMP now. Following is the excitatory amino acid receptor antagonist. The answer is phencyclidine. The major reason of carbidopa is of value of Parkinson, that are the compound of, because it can it inhibit the aromatic L amino acid decarboxylase enzyme. Now the mechanism of action of benzodiazepine is the activation of GABA B receptor, no. Antagonism glycine receptor in spinal cord, no. Increase the GABA mediated chloride channel, yes. It will open the ligand gated chloride channel and comes ion into the cell. Inheritance of location of M2 receptors type. M2 receptor are found on heart and gland. M3 receptor are found. Smooth muscle M3 receptor. Endothelial cells M1 or M3 receptor are found. Which competitive neuromuscular blocking could be used in the patients with the renal failure? The answer is atrapuri. And last one is indicate the non-depolarizing agents which has a short duration of action. The answer is muvacurium. Now these are the references. Thank you.